Peace, family. I was watching an interview the other day with Piers Morgan was asking a question about why do white people have to pay blacks reparations for what happened 200, 300, 400 years ago. You know, even asking that question speaks to your willful ignorance, Piers Morgan. But I'm going to answer for you. Slavery put whites at an economic, political, judicial, industrial advantage that they still to this day enjoy. And that put our people in a disadvantage in all these situations. That is why white people today need to pay blacks reparations. Because your efforts to destroy was greater than your efforts to repair. That's why you need to pay black people reparations. Black people are a self-determined, self-governing body of people. Nothing that you have done have returned us to that state. You continue to enjoy the luxuries of living in a land where you not only determine your own way of life, but the lives of those who your ancestors enslaved hundreds of years ago. That's why your people owe blacks reparations. And no matter whether your family contributed directly to slavery or not, they benefit indirectly. I don't want to hear nothing about what the Germans did to the Europeans, what the Swedes did to the Finland, whatever. No other country ever set up camp and remain in another country like whites have done to blacks. There are no German children being taught to the standards of Italians. There's nobody in Iraq being taught to the standards of Europeans. Whenever one country invaded another, at some point in time, they parted, and the integrity of their people remained. They spoke their own language, they had their own names, their own culture, their history. They lived up to they were able to live by their own standards. Black people cannot say that. That is why white people owe blacks reparations today. Even when you have examples of how this could possibly be done. Take, for example, the NFL, Major League Baseball, hockey, basketball, whatever. Each team in the league has their own identity, their own name, their own ownership, their own general manager, their own war room, their own scouting. They get to pick who they want to be leaders, what type of offense they want to be, what type of defense they want to run. And no matter how much revenue a team makes, once they reach a certain point, then they share the excess with other teams in the league so nobody will be at an economic disadvantage. They have an economic floor, so everybody got to spend a certain amount of money. And some leagues have a cap, which forbid other teams from taking advantage of the situation because there may be more of them than other groups. If America was able to do in the NFL what they do in this country here, then America would be the greatest country on earth. Every group of people in this country will be represented by their own governing body, speaking their own language, having self-determination over their own community. Then when you say America is the greatest country on earth, you can have something to back it. But because white people reject this, because it would take away their benefit, because they themselves would not benefit as much as they were benefiting before, they would destroy for everybody else. That is why white people owe blacks reparations. Because whatever plan and strategy that could move this country forward, that could benefit the majority of the people, only one people in this country will reject it. and that's whites. And that is not only why white people owe blacks reparations, that is why blacks need to separate from whites and do it for themselves. I'm going to end this video here, and if you like this message, if you like this content, and if you like this pressure that I put on our oppressor, put a little pressure on that follow, subscribe, and share button, and catch me in my next video. Ashe.